also just the whole like cultural appropriation thing. Like what? Like
What culture is she appropriating?
First of all, why does everybody have to potentially stay in their lanes? I don't understand this. Like,
Yeah,
the whole
as a white rapper, I agree. That's stupid.
I don't understand this. It's okay for some people to appropriate certain things, but not okay for any white person to do anything.
I think it's okay for
all.
everybody to culturally appropriate everything. Like,
And that's America, melting pot.
That's literally the whole
absolutely. Point. Like,
dude, not even that. I'll give you a perfect example of fucking cultural appropriation that nobody fucking says anything about, and I'm fucking jazzed about it, okay? The fucking Icelandic football team went to the Euros, started doing the fucking chant, and now everybody's fucking doing their goddamn chant at every fucking sporting event all over the world, and nobody is saying shit about it.
They're appropriating the Icelandic.
They're appropriating Icelandic Viking culture.
The Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings doing it, I get, because their mascot is Vikings. Yeah. Fine. But every other fucking team, every other the fucking Brazilians, you gotta
see Joe
Give me a
Rogan
break
on this. It was amazing.
They did a Viking chant once at a soccer game.
Crazy, man.
Oh man, it's wild because the whole fucking arena did it, and you feel it.
You feel that shit.
You're like, whoa!
You got to think, man. When they were going to wars back in the day, they rallied all their guys up just like that.
Look at that.
Yeah, there goes the fucking row.
They're out of tune though. This fucking boat's gonna go sideways.
Yeah. I don't know where that move comes from, but it looks cool when you see
cool
it.
As fuck. It's got to be an old school Viking thing.
Yeah,
they probably do it when they get drunk.
Yeah, think about it. They used to conquest motherfuckers, so they're like fucking rowing, rowing and rowing.
Imagine here, see if you can find the Viking one at a soccer game, because it's like I think it's at a World Cup or something like that. But they're like, yeah. You hear it in the crowd, and you're just like, oh my god! Imagine hearing that shit over the
when
water.
They're coming to get you,
towards your village. You're like, grab the baby. We're gonna live in the woods. Fuck.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
And those are big dudes.
Yeah. Here it is.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
They're all tuned in together, man. They're all in sync. Look at the hands. That's spooky.
Yeah, imagine
those
that.
Motherfuckers, if somebody reignites them,
imagine that horde is coming.
They will take over the world again if there's enough of them.
Imagine that horde coming at you, bro.
What a fucking crazy line of DNA. A line of people that just were conquerors.
Sturdy motherfuckers.
Sturdy, giant motherfuckers who did mushrooms.
Yeah.
They would blaze up, mushroom their fucking heads into oblivion, and just go slash people.
And go get them. It's crazy, man.
All right, we got it. But yeah, that's exactly my point.
You know what's scary?
Everybody's appropriating that. Nobody says shit.
You know what's scary is that my English ancestors were the people in that fucking village.
You goddamn right.
Yeah.
And you're
waiting
for the baby.
Waiting for those Vikings to come over the Channel or the North Sea and just like, oh yeah, okay.
Dude, they just set up shop around in the north and in the Highlands of Scotland and around on the small islands of the Isles, and would just send raiding parties and then go back home.
Someone once asked me about the TV show Vikings on the History Channel, and what I thought about it, and I was just like, well, my English ancestor was the one that Ragnar was putting his pretty big axe through his head. So
that's literally your ancestor.
Yeah, mixed feelings about the Vikings, because
you wouldn't be here then.
They basically,
how are you here
if it's your ancestor? Your ancestors
ancestors
clearly.
can still die and still
I know,
that's true.
But my English ancestors were the ones who have been raped and pillaged and enslaved by these Viking hordes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
People.
Hey, at least we only did that to white people, guys. Just saying. No,
actually, a great movie.
White on white violence.
A great movie about this was the Northman with Skarsgård.
Norseman,
It was really, because it actually was really quite historically accurate, but a lot of people, I think someone in an interview said to him something about why would you show the Vikings enslaving white people, as in white people were never enslaved. And it's because I was trying to be historically accurate.
Right, it's like, no, Vikings,
and the Vikings did enslave a lot of white people.
Irish, the Spanish,
the Russians,
Germans, the Baltic,
everybody.
The state of Russia, the Rus comes from Vikings.
In
Yeah,
fact,
you know?
it's
No,
that
he
when
was a Viking king, and they're like, "Hey, nice to see you again. We're getting, you come here so often and take stuff. Why don't you just stay?"
Yeah.
That's basically the pitch.
That was the dukedom of Normandy in northern France as well.
Yeah.
William the Conqueror. That was a dukedom that was specifically started by Vikings because they just wouldn't fucking leave, and the King of France just didn't want to have to deal with this shit. So they're just like, okay, here's your little dukedom, just fucking stay here. And like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Pretty much, man.
And then Vikings get to the Middle East and they're like, "Fuck that!" And then they get to Newfoundland and they're like, "Well, fuck this." You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Actually, fascinating. I saw this interview once. You know the concept of talk about cultural appropriation. You know the concept of dreadlocks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had
Yes.
braids in my hair many times.
Yeah.
Never dreads, but I've gotten flack for that actually.
Yeah. Apparently that was actually a Viking thing.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was- that was-
Vikings
that was-
also
that was
did
a
braids.
Viking.
Vikings did braids, but they didn't necessarily lock their hair like Africans lock their hair, though.
No, it's different.
Oh,
It's
okay.
true,
But the
but it's,
braiding though is,
Yes.
I mean, and that's cross culture. I
the
mean, the
Vikings,
Hindi
yeah.
braided, the Chinese braided, the Mongolians braided, the Russians braided. I mean,
But that's the thing that the Vikings also got to Africa.
oh yeah,
You
they
know?
got to Morocco, they got to Northern Africa, and they got to other spots in the Middle East, and then
Yep.
what is now Canada, I guess. But
Mhm.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
They were the first Europeans to get to North America. That's fascinating.
yes.
But they
Good
don't tell
old-
you that until you're like 15 years old.
I know,
You
right?
you're like,
Good old
Christopher
leaf.
Columbus.
In
Good old-
1492.
Good old, and they're like, actually, there's this guy Amerigo Vespucci and Leif Erikson. You're like, wait, what?
Wait,
What?
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 Yeah.
What do you mean? You've been lying to me.
And that's the hilarious thing. America. They're like,
Obvious. Yeah.
the name's on the tin.